Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming out. We have a very exciting card this weekend. It'll be loaded from top to bottom. In the main event, we'll have Danny Garcia, former two-division world champion. He'll be taking on former world champion Brandon Bam Bam Rios in a WBC title eliminator, which will be a very, very exciting matchup. Both guys will be looking to put on a great performance, and I expect a knockout in that fight. Also in the co-main event, we have the WBC super middleweight champion, David Benavidez. He'll be taking on Mayweather Promotions' own Ronald Gavril, and which will be a rematch of a very, very exciting fight they had in September. It was an all-out war, and I'm sure we're going to get the same thing come Saturday night. In the opening bout on the telecast, we have Yordanis Ugas. He'll be taking on He'll be taking on Philadelphia's Ray Robinson, which will be an IBF title eliminator, which will be a very, very exciting bout also. Also, our event is promoted by Mayweather Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with DSG Promotions. And our event sponsor is Corona. So without further ado, I would like to bring up our host for this event, none other than Richard Stern. He's a great friend. He's always giving us the opportunity to bring these exciting bouts to Las Vegas. So without further ado, Richard Stern.
Thank you, Leonard. Appreciate that. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here today at Mandalay Bay. We're looking forward to the holiday weekend as we kick off the boxing calendar with an exciting Premier Boxing Champions event. As many of you have seen firsthand, the Mandalay Bay Event Center has been home to a wide variety of championship events over the years, and this one will be no exception. We are also looking forward to the summer, as this world-class arena will be home to the city's first WNBA team, the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces begin their inaugural season home opener here on May 27th. We'd like to give a special thanks to all of our partners this week, including Tom Brown, Leonard Ellerby, Al Heyman, all of the fight camps, Chris de Blasio of Showtime Sports, and Bob Bennett of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. We look forward to seeing you Saturday night for this great event, and thank you.
Next, I'd like to bring up to the podium for a brief comment is Senior Vice President of Sports Communication for Showtime Sports, Chris de Blasio.
Thank you. Thank you, Leonard. On behalf of our President, Steven Espinoza, all of us at Showtime are really proud to be here to televise this special night of fights. This is the first Showtime boxing event we've had at Mandalay Bay since 2005, on a fateful night where Diego Corrales met Jose Luis Castillo in what became the fight of the decade and remains an epic battle, one of the greatest fights in boxing history. We're proud to return here to Mandalay Bay, so thank you, Richard. Saturday night is an important component in our network's industry-leading boxing schedule. It's a schedule that includes 13 world title fights across 11 marquee events from coast to coast throughout the first 6 months of the year. We're serving up a steady diet on Showtime of the most compelling and the most competitive fights in the sport, and we're showing progression from fight to fight, setting an unofficial season of sorts for the boxing fan to follow as we head towards unification in the deepest divisions. If you look closely at Saturday's fight card and the matchups on it, this is what we can consider to be a quintessential Showtime Championship boxing telecast. You've got 2 world title elimination bouts in boxing's deepest and most talent-rich division, the welterweights. Showtime remains the home of the biggest welterweight fights and fighters. We've presented all the significant bouts at 147 pounds over the last several years. Starts with Floyd Mayweather. We've had Danny Garcia on many times, Brandon Rios, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Kell Brook, and Errol Spence Jr. The list goes on of the top welterweights who are competing here in tough fights. So what Danny and Brandon have done and set themselves up for on Saturday is agreed to challenge themselves, each taking on the most dangerous foe that they can find. And they're in an effort to prove that they deserve the next shot at the world title. For David Benavidez, he's sport's youngest champion. He's challenging himself with an immediate rematch of a very close decision against a very tough fighter just a few months ago. He deserves credit for that. And Ronald Gavril has taken that challenge as well and looks to pick up where he left off in the championship rounds back in September. Finally, for Yordenis Ugas and Ray Robinson, these are two young men anxious to assert themselves in the 147-pound world title picture. This bout for the IBF mandatory spot will earn one of them a shot at Errol Spence's title in the near future. Throughout the year, this is what you can expect to see from Showtime Championship Boxing. Multiple bouts pitting the top-rated champions against his or her top-rated challenger. Fighters like the guys you see up here today are doing their part, continuing to step up and dispel the tired notion that the best fighters somehow don't or won't fight the best competition. So thank you to all the guys up here. Thank you to the PBC, to Tom Brown, to Mayweather Promotions and DeBella Entertainment and Samson Boxing. I think I speak for all of us when I say that we're excited to continue to lead this sport in an exciting renaissance. We'll see you on Saturday night.
Next up for a few comments is the Executive Director of the Nevada Athletic State Commission, none other than Mr. Bob Bennett.
Appreciate it, man. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the media for covering this event. And on behalf of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, you should know that we are honored and privileged to regulate this event. This responsibility we take on is very important to us, and we take it very seriously. We would like to thank TGB Promotions, Mayweather Promotions, and Samson Boxing for promoting this event in our great city. We'd also like to recognize Richard Sturm and the MGM for consistently providing these great fights in the fight capital of the world. And of course, we want to thank and recognize Steven Espinosa and Showtime for broadcasting these events. But not only this event, but I must say with Showtime that they have consistently been very objective and professional in their broadcast during these championship bouts. It certainly has not gone unnoticed. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the fighters, because without the fighters, none of us would be here today. So thank you very much, and God bless. Thanks,
Next up to the podium, I'd like to bring up Samson. Let me tell you a little bit about Samson. This is why I love seeing the best fight the best. Very shortly after the fight, in a very, very tough fight, obviously I thought that my guy won. It didn't work out that way. We briefly talked, and I asked him for the rematch. Without hesitation, he said he had to talk to David. He came right back. He said, I'll grant you a rematch. That's why I have a tremendous amount of respect for David Benavidez, because he didn't have to give Ronald Gavril this rematch. So again, without further ado, I'd like to call up Samson from Samson Boxing. Okay. In the opening bout, we have the exciting Ibf Welterweight Clash. And before I introduce that, I would like to acknowledge the promoter, Lou DiBello, for that event. His exciting fighter, Ray Robinson, he'll be taking on the very tough Yordenis Ugas. Again, that's a great matchup with two exciting young talents looking to prove themselves in the very exciting welterweight division. So without further ado, I'd like to call up Ray Robinson. Okay, so okay, cool. Okay, okay. Next up to the podium, my very dear friend. We've been very good friends for a very long time. He's the best in the business at what he does. He's a recent Hall of Fame nominee. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up none other than Jim Gray.
Thank you, Leonard. Great that you're all here. I want to thank Richard Sturm, Mandalay Bay, MGM Resorts. It's always a great venue. It's always great to be here with them. And I also want to thank Mr. Bennett, particularly, who oversees the commission, for his kind words that he just said about Showtime. And we look forward to Saturday night with these great fighters. It'll be on Showtime. If you can't be here live, tune us in. So I'm just going to talk to some of the fighters, and we'll ask a few questions, and then as we get through that portion, you then all will have an opportunity to answer your questions. I guess we'll take it in the order of the fights, and we'll work up to the main event. So, Dennis, you are moving up to 147 pounds. Have you noticed much of a difference, and how difficult will that transition be? Somebody translating for you? No? I was told we had somebody who...
With no way it's a translator, but I'll give it a shot. You guys picked the wrong guy, but let's go for it.
Moving up in weight, is that going to be, how will he make the adjustment?
Woo! A real Spanish guy in town. No, I'm really playing. What was the question?
He's moving up in weight, Angel. He's moving from 140 to 147. Is it a difficult adjustment, or is he ready for that?
Que si el peso es difícil, va 40-47.
Oh, sí, fue un cambio bueno a mí. He sido un buen mejor peleador después de eso.
Angel, don't go. We need you to... Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
Que fue un cambio bueno a los welter. He sido un mejor peleador después de eso.
See, it was a great thing for him because he went from 40 to 47. So it was good for him because of the weight, so it makes him stronger.
Does he feel he has to put on quite a show to... It's the eliminator bout. He'll get Errol Spence next if everything works out. Does he want to put on some kind of a show to show the fans that he's worthy of that opportunity?
Que ahora con esta pelea es un eliminator para pelear con Spencer la próxima. Que si tú tienes que venir 100% para esta pelea.
Oh, sí, estoy emocionado, contento. Spencer es un tremendo peleador. Robinson, tremendo peleador. Mucho respeto a ellos. Y el sábado vamos al 200%.
Yeah, he said he's ready to fight Robinson. He feels 100%. And after he fights Robinson on Saturday, and then he's looking forward to Spencer if be successful on Saturday.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you,
Thank
Dennis.
you. Hey! Hey!
All right.
Hey, I need to get my father a job.
Hey, we just found him one.
After boxing.
Thank you, Angel. Hey, Ray, you've won 13 fights in a row since you lost to Sean Porter, but a lot of fans still don't know you, but they know the name because the name is synonymous with boxing. What's it like for you to be walking around as Ray Robinson, knowing that perhaps the greatest fighter of all time was named Ray Robinson?
At one point, I used to put a lot of pressure on myself, but that was when I was young. I said it once before, but I think I put so much pressure on myself when I was in the amateurs when I was young that I think I lost a couple fights. So I put so much pressure on myself, but now it doesn't matter. You know, I look up to the Sugar Ray Robinson, but now I'm just here to, you know, make my own, you know, footprints in the sand.
Ray, what changed for you since that loss to Porter? What gave you the mechanism to get some confidence from that loss that has propelled you to where you are now?
Just me learning from every fight, just getting better, as a pro, as a person, and I got a new team. I got Bozy in them now. I got L and Boots in my corner, and they just, you know, added on to my craft.
We wish you luck, and we look forward to the first fight on Showtime that evening. And now we'll get some thoughts from Ronald and David. Ronald, let's start with you. You had a huge opportunity there, and it looked like you had him out. How much have you replayed that in your mind as you prepare for this fight?
Hello, I want to say hello to the media to come for support us. And like I said before, when I take the fight, on the first fight, I know what I can do on this fight. And I prove everybody I have a skill and I have a power to be the best in this division. And I believe the fight, especially with the knockdown on the first fight. So now I got more times, actually more than 8 weeks to prepare this fight. First fight, I got only 4 weeks. So now I'm ready. I'm better.
Were you surprised, Ronald, that he gave you the rematch?
Surprised?
Were you surprised he gave you the rematch?
No, I don't get surprised because it was a good fight, and I proved everybody I'm a good fighter. I have a skill and I have a power. I was not surprised. And I think Benavidez talked too much, and he say first fight, he coming to stop me in 4 rounds, 5 rounds. He cannot stop me. And he say again right now, he tried to stop, he say he stopped me in the rematch. He can't do that to me. And he say was sick before the fight, the first fight.
Bam Bam sitting here stirring it up. You're stirring it up. What are you whispering in his ear here?
Why he got the new fitness coach?
I don't know what this guy's talking about, but I'm going to knock him out. Look at me in my eyes and I tell you I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to put you into retirement, bro. That's how it's going to be. I'm going to put you into retirement. I'm going to put you into retirement.
You know who I am. You know I'm coming to fight.
Yeah, I'm going to knock you out this fight. Yeah,
and I appreciate you.
You've been talking a lot of shit this camp, so we'll see.
Who take a shit? Who talk a shit?
You've been talking a lot.
You
saying
talk a shit.
I'm going to knock your ass out.
I'm not talking shit.
Okay, we're going to see.
You talking.
We're going to see. This is going to be the fight of the night, so you guys do not want to miss this fight. I'm going to send this man into retirement. He's not going to want to box no more after I get done with him.
Hey David, he did have you in trouble, though, in that 12th round.
Okay, he dropped me, but I was not hurt at any time of the fight. I got up, I smiled. You know, if he said he could have knocked me out, he should have did it in the beginning of the fight. You know, but I did not feel his power at all, so... we're going to see on Saturday night. It's going to be a great fight. You could expect fireworks.
Why did you...
You know I'm ready to fight, you know.
I'm ready to fight, too.
Perfect.
I'm ready to fight, too.
That's going to be... That's going to be an amazing fight.
We're going to see.
So I call everybody in Las Vegas to come to support this fight because it's going to be an amazing fight, you know.
It's a good thing we got Sam Watson up here for protection. Sam, you're going to keep the peace here? Okay, Sam. Better bring in Marcus. Where's Brandon? No, Team Watson will keep the peace here. David, was it a tough decision, David, to give him the rematch?
No, it wasn't a tough decision because it was a great fight, and I just want to give the fans the fight they want to see. You know, they said the first one was a war. Let's make the second one the war. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to it.
All right, we look forward to this rematch. It was one of the great fights, and we just talked about Castillo and Corrales that took place here in 2005, and if this rematch is anything like the first fight, we'll certainly walk away with a very memorable evening. All right. Bam Bam, no more peacemaker, no more, or instigator, I should say. You now have the opportunity to fight Danny Garcia. You've been known throughout your career as such an aggressive guy. Do you think that stylistically that can work against a man like Danny Garcia?
We would have known until we find out Saturday, but, you know, I'm ready 100%, and I'm ready to give the fans a great, exciting show, and that's all I'm prepared for, you know what I mean? That's the way my style is. I always come forward, and I come to fight, so we ain't dancing. We're going to be fighting.
You have Robert Garcia with you. How much of a difference has he made in your training, and how much do you think that will translate when you go into the ring on Saturday night?
Well, Robert Garcia is always my brother. You know, he's a brother from another mother. It's just that fact that, you know, it felt great to be back with Robert Garcia. You know, I'm just ready for the fight. I'm ready for the fight now. I'm very confident, and the most important thing, I'm confident in myself that I'm ready for the fight.
Do you look at this, how do you view this opportunity in terms of where you are at your career right now?
I'm going to take every advantage of it right now. I got to take every advantage of it because this can do or die. It can make me or break me, and I'm taking every advantage of it in training and losing the weight, dieting, everything like that. So I'm 100% ready, and I just can't wait to Saturday. I'm usually saying I can't wait to weigh-ins. I'm saying I can't wait for Saturday because I'm ready.
That means there isn't a weight issue?
That's no weight issue at all. You know, I'm perfectly on weight right now. I'm perfectly fine, health-wise, no injuries, so I'm ready 100%.
All right.
And I just want
Brandon
one thing. I'm not a cherry, so everybody out here that say I'm a fucking cherry, I'm not a cherry. I'm a motherfucking wild berry. And I don't even know if that makes sense, but I'm a wild berry.
All right, go pull the lever on that, I guess. Danny, you're bored. You're looking at your watch. You're looking at your time. We gotten some messages. What do you make of all of what's been said up here?
I'm just, the Swift time, baby. That's it. It's Swift time.
Well, you've had a year off, so it's time to get back at it. You were champion for 6 consecutive years. How have you dealt with the loss and this year off?
You know, first of all, I want to thank God, because without him, I won't be here right now. I'd like to thank Al Heyman, Showtime. I'd like to thank Team DSG, you know, the Watson family, Mayweather Promotion, DSG Promotion, you know, all my fans and all the media for coming out. But, you know, I just took not a year, a little under a year, but just to enjoy my life. I worked hard my whole life. I've been boxing for 20 years. I just wanted to be a regular person, let my mind rest, spend time with my daughter, and enjoy the hard work. You know, enjoy some of my money. And I'm back. I've been in camp for 3 months already, training hard. I feel good. Me and my pop feel good. We feel confident, and I feel great.
Was it mentally tough to absorb that first loss, or were you able to take something positive from that?
At the end of the day, it was a close fight. I walked out of there with no injuries, nothing. You know, Thurman was the one who had the elbow injury after the fight, so he took more punishment than me. But like I said, I could easily be unified champion of the world right now, about one or 2 points. So at the end of the day, I'm a champion. I always will be a champion. That's my mindset, mentally, physically. Nothing could break me. What don't break me make me stronger.
And what about Bam Bam Rios? Here's an aggressive guy. He's not going to back up. He's a stylistic fighter who's going to come right straight at you. How do you approach that?
It's the Danny Garcia show, so I'm going to go in there and do what I want to do. I'm going to go in there and dictate the pace. I'm going to go in there. If we want to bang, we could bang. If we want to box, we could box. I mean, I faced fighters who come straight at me before. I faced fighters who move, so I'm prepared for whatever. I'm a young veteran in the sport, and what made me a true champion is adapting to anything they put in front of me and overcoming adversity. So if I got to overcome adversity Saturday night, then I'm going to do that because that's what I was built for.
All right, we're going to open it up for questions, but before we do, I want to introduce the Hall of Famer, the great Al Bernstein, my partner here on Showtime Championship Boxing. Been with us an awful long time, and congratulations to Al. He was just announced yesterday he's going into the Nevada State Hall of Fame for all of the people in this state who have achieved greatness in athletics and observation of sports. So microphones are open, the cameras are rolling. Just state who you are and who the question's for, and we'll go from there. Go ahead, sir. New York Yankees.
Questions for Danny. Kenneth Buhari from Boxing News Magazine. You mentioned right now that you took the time off to spend time with your family, enjoy some of your money. Did that time off change your perspective of the game? Did it renew your hunger? What did it do for you?
More than anything, I just felt like I needed the rest. It wasn't about the hunger because I always got the passion for the sport. I love boxing. I love the competition. This is what I do. I've been boxing since I was a little kid, so I know. it wasn't more about, you know, the passion or anything like that. It was just more about just me needing some rest, recuperating, and getting back to doing what I love. And that's how I feel right now. I feel good. I feel healthy. And my mind's well rested, and my mind is sharp. And that was the key. That was the main reason for me taking the break.
Who's the best in the division other than yourself? If you were to rank the order of this very competitive, tough division that you're in, let's take you out of the equation. Let's tell me who you think it is.
You know, it's a division where styles make fights, to be honest with you. You know, it's a tough division. It's a tough division. Besides me, you know, you would have to say Thurman's he has 2 of the belts. You know, Spencer's the champion. Porter's always been a tough guy in the division. Then you got some new guys.
So you would have it, excluding yourself, 1, 2, 3, like you just named them?
Yeah, I would say that.
Thurman,
I would say that.
Spence, Porter.
I would say that. And I would say in any order because styles make fights, you know what I mean? And but as far as them, you know, I'm always going to feel like I'm the best, and I just got to go in there and prove myself.
Hey, Brandon, how would you rank, other than yourself, the order in this division?
Honestly, I don't really care. I just want to fight the tough guys.
Yeah, but the fans care. So if you have, if you can answer the question, please try.
I'll give it Spence, Thurman, and I'll give it up to Danny. And I'll give Danny. He's one of the top up there, and then I'll give Sean Porter.
Thank you. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Ryan Burton, Boxing Scene. And now that you've been in the division a couple years now, Danny, after being at 140 basically forever, do you feel a lot stronger at 147 than when you first got there against Guerrero?
I feel like I just grew into it, to be honest with you. I just feel I look a lot bigger than when I first moved up to 147. When I moved up to 147, when I fought Paulie and Guerrero, my body still looked a little smaller, but now I definitely filled in. I feel a lot stronger, and I'm definitely a full welterweight right now.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Brian Salmon, Review Journal here in Las Vegas. This is for David. David, I get the sense that you almost feel offended that Ronald feels that he can compete with you inside the ring. Is that an accurate statement, or am I just seeing something that's not there?
No, I don't feel offended because, you know, he's a good fighter, you know what I mean? And this is just, you know, more hype for the fight. You know, it just gives me more motivation to go in there and make it a war. You know what I mean?
Okay. Chris de Blasio, we are doing face-offs. We thank Leonard Ellerby, Mayweather Promotions, all of the promoters involved with this. Once again, to Richard Sturm and the MGM, Mandalay Bay. It'll be on Showtime Championship Boxing Saturday night. Thank you, everybody.
And briefly after the fighters pose off, Al Bernstein is going to come up and make a brief announcement about the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame.
Good job, guys. Thank you. Sam, get out of there with that phone. Fights will start on Showtime at 7 p.m. Pacific time here. There's still a few tickets available at the Mandalay Bay ticket office, the event center right here on the property, or at any of the MGM properties that you might be visiting. Showtime, 7 p.m. Pacific time.